It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll be watching the Orlando Magic playing against the Chicago Bulls. And guys, for the Bulls, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games. They can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. So we're right around halfway through the season. Shaq, a lot of trade discussions happening. What are your keys to making a great deal?
Well, it depends on your goal. You want to win now? You want to win later? A combination of both? Does your analysis ever make changes out of emotion?
Well, acquiring players that fit your system. You have to have a system first. That's the key. And if your trade looks too good to be true, it probably is.
I meant to say, do your analysis, never make changes out of emotion.
Okay.
See, I was emotional when I was talking about it.
Well, I heard you. I understood it. I understood
All right.
it.
You did?
Not really, but.
Me either. And now with the tip-off, coming up shortly, it's time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Let's meet the visiting team, the Chicago Bulls. At point, Cody White. At center, Wendell Carter. At power forward, Lowry Marketing. At the other forward position, Otto Porter. At the other guard position, Zach Levine. The head coach of the visiting team is Jim Boylan. And now introducing your Orlando Magic. Starting at small forward, 6 feet 10 inches, number 1, Jonathan Isaac. At the point guard position, at 6 foot 3 inches, number 20, Markelle Fultz. Starting at the other guard, 6 feet 7 inches, number 10, Evan Fournier. The other forward, at 6 foot 9 inches, number 00, Aaron Gordon. Number 9 center from USC, Nick Vucevic. A head coach for your team. Once again, your Orlando Magic.
On the road, looking for a win against an Eastern Conference rival. The Chicago Bulls are ready for this thing to get started. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan with you, joined by Doris Berg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge reporting courtside. Thrilled to be back in Orlando. The Magic ready for that home court advantage. They come into this one very confident. They feel like this is a game they should win against a team that struggled. We'll see if they can take care of business.
And when I look at Orlando, what a nice turnaround this season has been for them compared to just a year ago. They couldn't afford to suffer through another campaign like that.
They did a very good job putting that in the rear view and moving forward this season. They still have a long way to go to be considered a top team, but they've definitely made progress.
All right, let's set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So for Chicago right now, and down low, it's Markkanen and Carter. White is out there with Levine, and it's Porter at the 3 slot. And when you look at Evan Fournier, he's just a reliable source for points whenever he's on the floor.
Yeah, and Fournier is a bit of a quiet scorer. I mean, he always ends up with a lot of points, but doesn't tend to wow you with any individual plays. Terrific shooter who just makes the most of his touches and his minutes whenever he's on the floor.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, Steve Clifford gave me a few minutes before the game. This is the first meeting of the season between these teams, and he stressed to his guys the need to rely on their instincts at the offensive end. He said, we do a good job of finding soft spots in defenses without forcing things. If we keep doing that, we'll be in good shape. We'll see if they can keep that up tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
Thank you, David. So if their coach is right, their success today will depend on how well they shoot the ball.
And they're going to have to work hard at the offensive end to make that happen. Strong player movement and ball movement will be key.
Well, exactly, because you can have the most dangerous shooters in the league, but if they're not sharing the basketball, it doesn't do you any good.
Here's Fultz after the made shot from Zach LaVine, and the shot is good.
Wow, how about the focus from the big man, Jonathan Isaac, comfortable in the paint.
Looking at the last game for Orlando, it was a loss to Dallas. And LaVine, here we go. Sweet little floater. LaVine's got 6.
Oh, perfect timing there to knock down the teardrop.
Fultz kicks to Isaac. Bounce pass Gordon. Vucevic the pass to Fournier. 5 on the clock. Tries it from 19. Yep, that one goes. Fournier's got his first basket of the night.
You've got to be able to manipulate the defense in pick and roll. Fournier, nice job there.
Bean passes to Markkanen. Now here is Carter, defended by Gordon. And it's Carter missing. Orlando, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Outside Fournier. Lets it go from deep. Porter pulls it in. And so it's Porter bringing it up now for Chicago. Not a lot to be happy about with the Magic last season, but they did see some improvement in some of their players.
You know what, Kevin? I think you saw Aaron Gordon make a big leap, and I don't think he was alone. Guys like Evan Fournier and other wings also continue to develop their games. If there was one silver lining for a very difficult season, that would have to be it.
High post Vucevic. The basket good off the assist from Fultz.
Well, Vucevic understands that the mid-range is a part of his game that he can go to at any point.
LaVine dishes to Markkanen. White inside, guarded by Fultz. Kicks it out to Markkanen. Gordon against LaVine. Over Gordon. LaVine can't hit.
I'm sure if he had the chance to do that possession over again, he would not have taken the shot.
To the inside. Got a piece of it.
And how about Markkanen using his size and reach on defense? Great timing in terms of being able to get up and block shots.
Now here's White. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Sacramento.
It was never all about himself. He came away with a lot of assists in that game and just kind of kept everybody in the mix.
LaVine against Fournier. That 3 off the mark.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Fultz. And that one goes long. Chicago leading by 3. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Markelle Fultz. That's his first foul. Orlando making some changes. Bamba is checked in for Vucevic. Aminu comes in for Jonathan Isaac. And Terrence Ross is subbed in for Fournier. Thaddeus Young, he's checked in for Chicago. Satoransky comes in for White. Now here's Porter. An 11-point game for him in the win against Sacramento.
Yeah, Kev, he was a standout on the backboards that night and got a number of big rebounds.
Porter with it. He's covered by Aminu. Fires it up. And again, Chicago, no good. The Magic trail by 3. 1:05 left in the first quarter. Knocks it loose. Bamba kicks to Ross. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Terrence Ross, Doris, one of the more athletic wingmen in the league.
Right, Kevin. This guy's got great reach and frame for the position he plays, and he's always been able to dazzle at times, but he can also disappear. So this guy has got to find that ability to get involved and stay active.
That free throw good from Ross. Ken Burge is checked in for the Magic. Valentine's checked in for the Bulls. Chris Dunn comes in for Levine. And both free throws good for Ross.
Boy, just never a good idea to give this guy too many chances at the line. He's going to cash in.
For Chicago, they've gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Now, here is Young. He had 10 points in the win against Sacramento. Pass to Dunn. Carter left side. Trying to end the drought. That shot, no good. And it's the Magic taking it the other way. Now Aminu. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. He kicks it to Fultz. Overdone. Fultz, no good. Here's Valentine. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. And the call will be against Thaddeus Young. That'll be his second foul of the game. Orlando with the ball. They trail by 1. Here's Fultz. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot.
And you got to get a hand up on Fultz. I mean, he continues to show improvement from the mid-range area of the floor.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. It's the Magic leading by just 1. 2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And what do you guys think about the Magic here so far in this one?
Yeah, getting an early boost from the bench, that's been the difference here so far.
Boy, the bench has been sensational. They've come in, run the offense, and are capitalizing on all opportunities.
Done with it. So for Chicago right now, Valentine and Markkanen, your small and power forwards. Satoran's there with Dunn, and it's Carter in at the 5, roaming the paint. They get it again. Markkanen can't get it to go.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Aminu up top. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. 5 to shoot. Now here's Ross. He's guarded closely. It's up and it's off the mark. He's 0 for 1. Dunn kicks to Markkanen. Back to Dunn. So many aspects go into developing Doris, a winning team, coaching players, all the front office moves. How much do you think ownership affects that equation?
Well, I think it's absolutely critical. Leadership starts at the top down. And what kind of organization do you want? What kinds of behaviors will you tolerate? What kinds of things do you emphasize in terms of what you want your culture to be about? And to me, that starts at the top. When you look at the organizations that have great history with sustained success, it starts at the top with ownership.
I like your word culture there. That makes so much sense. And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
And really, whether you're up or down, it's a game of adjustments.
Well, I'd like to see them mix it up a little bit. You've got to keep the opposition off balance.
Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for Curtis.
And looking now at some numbers for Fultz, how his last 10 games have gone. He's putting up about 8 points a game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. And those numbers, solid, not spectacular, and sometimes what you see is what you get.
There's no doubt. This is a guy who understands his role, knows he's got to give you quality minutes, and that's what they expect from him.
Now, here's Aminu. He's been quiet so far, still no points in the game. A three-pointer off the mark. And here's Dunn. He'll bring it up for Chicago. Trailing by 2. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
I mean, you'd have to question their effort, Greg. They did a great job at penetrating and kicking out. The defense simply wasn't up to the task.
Dunn with it, guarded by Fultz. And again, no good by Chicago. Aminu against Dunn. Aminu, the pass to Birch. Now, here's Fultz. Tight defense on him. Kicks it to Bamba. Over Markkanen. That one wide left. Bulls have gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop.
Well, Steve Clifford takes over here in Orlando, and of course he is known for his frankness and his disciplined approach to the game. You think about Clifford's teams, they rarely make unforced errors and are some of the best at minimizing their own mistakes.
Now, here's Fultz. Lauri Markkanen unable to get his last shot to go.
And how about the vision of Fultz there? He's skilled at getting his teammates going with his passing.
Valentine kicks to Dunn. And the Bulls with another miss. And for Clifford, his job in Orlando, Doris, will be to develop the skills of his very young core.
That is correct, and he'll try to get this young group to play intelligently, minimize turnovers. You remember he once famously said the NBA isn't about winning, it's about winning in the playoffs.
Now, here's Valentine. He's been patient so far, nothing on the scoreboard yet.
Guys, that's number 2 on him, and they do not need him to sit right away, but one more foul before the half, and he'll be headed to the bench.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Vucevic comes in for Cam Birch, and Evan Fournier subbed in for Fultz. And a change for the Bulls. White's checked in. Here's White. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it. And a chance here to see our rookie watch. The biggest point-producing freshman over the last 10 games. And you look at White, 3rd in the league. He typically dominates out there. He can seemingly score at will.
That's just an impressive scoring run. And guys, I don't think he's done. He's got a lot more where that came from.
Now, here's Fournier. 8 points his last outing. Ross in the corner. Pass to Vucevic. Stolen by Markkanen. Done outside. Changes up, and they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Listen, there are a few guards in this league who can overpower defenders, but Dunn, that rare breed.
Chris Dunn taken 5th overall back in 2016. Didn't break through in his rookie season with the Wolves. He's getting more opportunity here in Chicago.
Gordon's checked in for Orlando. Jonathan Isaac comes in for Al-Farouq Aminu. Then for the Bulls, Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Markkanen, and Levine subbed in for Valentine. And Greg, you look at Dunn, it can take longer for point guards to develop in the NBA.
A great point. It's the most cerebral position in our game. Learning how to run an NBA offense is a challenge. Good news, though, is he's putting in the work necessary to figure it out and progressing nicely.
Fournier finds Vucevic. Second shot opportunity, and that's 2 points on the layup. And the Magic lead by 3.
Well, there's a certain strength that Vucevic possesses, so he can play through the contact and still score. That's nice.
Outside, White. Porter in the corner. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Well, Otto Porter takes the challenge there with fearlessness, scoring through contact. Woo-hoo!
Every team looking for long limb guys in the wing, Doris. Otto Porter is ascending up that list.
Yeah, Otto Porter is a guy who can do a little bit of everything. He can rebound, he can defend multiple positions, he's got the length to create turnovers, and of course that big-time range gives you a lot of spacing on the offensive end of the floor.
That one drops. He ties it up.
I think the thing I like best about Otto Porter, his versatility and long arms, because it allows him to impact the game in so many ways.
Here's Vucevic. That's in, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp.
Well, he's a guy that can adapt and adjust to any defense he's up against. It's really something to watch.
And here's White. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Pass to Porter. Kick out to Levine. Clock at 6. The pass to Carter. Shoots over Isaac. And again, no good by Chicago. And so it's Ross. He brings it up for the Magic. Isaac passes to Ross. Magic moving the ball around. And the foul called on ABC. That's his first foul. "20 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Count that one. Now it's a 4-point Magic lead.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
On the wing, Levine. And Young kicks to White. From deep. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Magic lead by 4. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to have you back. You're watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. This right here is Kenny the Jet Smith. This right here is Shaquille O'Neal. Me, I'm just Ernie. It was a closely contested first quarter for Orlando. They were able to squeeze ahead by the end of the period with just a 1-point lead. They had a slight edge on the scoreboard in the second quarter, but only by the slimmest of margins. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
Well, I think they're feeling the energy of this hometown crowd. Sometimes you get a little complacent and comfortable in your surroundings, but no, they fed off adrenaline in the first half.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
You know, they haven't shot the ball very well. Not nearly enough quality looks. Right now, this game can easily come down to shot selection and how they run their offense. They need to keep the ball moving and generate better looks.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
Welcome back, folks. The downtown skyline of Orlando, Florida, looking especially striking tonight. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Nice game. Great performance by Nikola Vucevic.
And they haven't needed a lot of shots to get their points. Just tremendous efficiency here in the first half.
I think you can look to specifically the patience and the shot creation. Really solid effort.
Wow, I'm the people champ. My chain light up like a lamp because now I'm back with the...
Bulls trail by 4. Inside, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Markelle Fultz out there with Evan Fournier, and it's Isaac in at the 3 slot. And that's the group for Steve Clifford as we begin the second half. We've talked about what it takes to be a great head coach, Doris. Qualities that you think are paramount to the success, for instance, of an assistant coach.
Maybe the most important attribute to an assistant coach would be coaching with your heart and soul like it's your job on the line every night, not just the head coach's job. Right? If you pour your heart and soul into something and make that head coach's job easier, then you've functioned appropriately. And the other thing it's allowed you to do is it's allowed you to accelerate your growth. You're constantly thinking, what would I do in this situation? That helps you in the long term.
Love that perspective. Outside Gordon. Pass to Fultz. And Vucevic kicks to Fournier. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Fournier's got his second basket.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Levine against Fournier. Levine, good. Levine's got 8.
They wanted a fast start coming out of the break, and they are now 3 for 3.
Inside, Fournier trying to break loose, and it's Gordon finishing it off.
Yeah, his instincts are on display here. Fultz, a really good passer, excels at setting up teammates for easy looks.
Now here's White, guarded by Fultz. On the wing, Porter. Six on the shot clock. Outside, Levine. Here's Markkanen. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. And the Bulls lead by 1.
Great play calling, great execution, leads to 4 for 4 to start this half.
Fultz kicks to Gordon. Got a piece of it. Porter with the steal. Pass to White. Again, Chicago.
We saw stellar defense in that first half. It hasn't been close here in the second.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic.
And guys, you know, you never run out of things that you can improve upon.
I think, Greg, it's important to keep that hunger, right? You're always striving to get better and to change things up.
Making some changes. Ken Burge has checked in for Vucevic. Bamba comes in for Aaron Gordon, and it's Aminu in for Isaac. Chicago also making some changes. Denzel Valentine comes in for Carter, and Satoransky's subbed in for White. No one near Fultz as he lets it go. Hits the jumper in space. Fultz has got 7 points in the game.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
Levine kicks to Porter. Levine feeling it out a bit. Shot clock at 6. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. 3-pointer, Markkanen. Aminu grabs the miss.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
Passes it to Fournier. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Well, exceptional at giving you that extra burst necessary on the drive. That's pretty.
Levine dishes to Porter. Back to Levine. From deep. Orlando grabs the miss. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Here's Aminu, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It goes on Denzel Valentine. For Orlando, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. The Magic making a switch here. Ross is checked in. The Bulls also changing it up. Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for Lauri Markkanen. And Chris Dunn subbed in for Zach LaVine. Two free throws for Aminu.
I tell you, as good as he is at the line, it allows him to invite contact when he's down low.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Porter. It's stolen by Aminu. 1:31 left in the third quarter. Ross kicks to Fournier. Down low. Birch's shot's good. And the Magic lead by 5.
The creative force behind these points is Terrence Ross. This guy keeps his head up, puts the pass right where it needs to be.
And there's the pass to Porter. To stop the run. And Bamba pulls it down. Bamba's got 7 rebounds in the game. Tipped away. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. Dunn's running. That's tipped.
The main weapon in Bamba's attack, the slender long arms he possesses, helps him block lots of shots.
Fournier and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Chris Dunn picks one up. The Magic shooting their 5th and 6 free throws of the game.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
Two shots.
First one falls for him.
You get a little glimpse into the mindset of Evan Fournier. This guy will do whatever it takes to win.
Gordon's checked in for Kem Birch, and a change for the Bulls. Carter, he's checked in for Denzel Valentine. And he makes the first, but misses the second. And here's the fast break. Dunn leading the way. Carter on the wing. Over Ross. And the Bulls with another miss.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
And not just sustaining the lead, they're adding to it.
Right, and this is precisely what you want to do. Build up the lead and keep the pressure on.
Fournier against Dunn. Left side, Porter. To end the drought. No good.
Well, it helps to have the length and quickness of Evan Fournier to try to contest a shot. Really good job staying with his guy.
And so it's Orlando, holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. And we'll be back with you shortly. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
And, Greg, nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. Orlando leading by 8. So the Bulls 5 right now. Young out there with Carter. Then it's White. Then it's Chris Dunn. And it's Porter at the small forward position. Now here's Ross. Knocks it loose. Porter with the steal. Fast break. Here we go. And
well, when you combine good anticipation skills with real length, it is what makes Porter so dangerous picking up steals.
And Fournier kicks to Isaac. Feeds to Gordon. And the turnover again by Orlando. And here's what the schedule for Orlando looks like. On Saturday, they'll be matching up against Rudy Gobert and the Utah Jazz. And then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the San Antonio Spurs.
And that one against the Bulls, I think it's going to be an interesting challenge. Even though they expect to come out on top, this could probably be a pick'em game, depending on how they play.
Now, here's Porter. He feeds it to Young. Stolen by Bamba. Ross against White. Ross kicks to Fournier. Now, here's Isaac. Pass to Ross. 6 to shoot. Down low. Here's Bamba. And it's in off the backboard. Bamba's got the lead up to 8 now for the Magic.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Carter with it. Bamba picks him up. And Porter, here we go. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it. Magic ball. Vucevic checked in for Orlando. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Ross kicks to Vucevic. Some nice ball movement by the Magic. And it's Gordon missing.
Gets it to very close range, but there was no way the defense going to back off and give him that layup.
Dunn passes to White. Hands it from downtown. White's got 5 points in the quarter.
Yeah, that's just a nice pass. This was one of college basketball's premier playmakers. Dunn showing great vision.
Fournier against Young. And Fournier kicks to Gordon. Back to Fournier. Takes the 3. Sinks the triple. Fournier's got the lead. Back up to 8 now for Orlando.
Fournier, even stronger second half. Tremendous efficiency at the offensive end of the floor.
Fournier against White. On the wing, Porter. Carter dishes to White. He kicks to Dunn. A floater. No good that time. Great D that time from Vucevic. Bob pass to Gordon. Got a piece of it. Young with the steal. Up top, Porter. He's covered by Isaac. Out to the right wing. Here's White. Vucevic with the block.
Boy, when Vucevic is in that area, he's capable of sending it back.
They get it back. Fournier gets a wide open look. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
Well, you've got to look at this guy's shooting as one of the main reasons they've been able to build this lead.
Chicago calls timeout.
Yeah, and the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they've got to talk about.
I think they've got to ramp up the pressure. There's no excuse for letting them score at will in the paint. Make them feel you.
Touchdown. Don't we look good together? There's a reason why they watch all night long. Yeah, I know we'll turn heads forever. So tonight I'm gonna show you all.
moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Evan Fournier.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
They increased his role tonight after dropping their last game, and the move paid off. He's been the best player on the court by far, and now they don't have to worry about a losing streak. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Jim Boylan was going over with his team. He said, "Do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back."
Okay, David, much appreciated.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
White the pass to Porter. Knocked away. Isaac with the steal. Oh, and here we go. Isaac's got the fast break chance. The wide open look here for Vucevic. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Vucevic has got the lead up to 11 now for the Magic. Not a lot of time left for the Bulls in this one. Outside, White. On the wing, Porter. And Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. We've got 1:23 left in the game. Here's White. Vucevic with the block. Now Isaac. That one drops for him.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Magic.
They never settled for mediocre shots.
And Kevin, they had great penetration this time out.
And this will be a big win for them. Lucky win number 13 now in the bag.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Evan Fournier.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Shot clock at 2. That shot is off. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's LaVine.
You know, I like that mentality by LaVine, taking it inside, mixing it up a little bit.
First personal foul. At the line for the Bulls, Zach LaVine, taking 2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that brings them to within 10.
I'll tell you, 13th pick in the 2014 draft, LaVine still with plenty of upside.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
They have earned this win.
Carter Williams against White. Here's Carter Williams. And so it's Orlando winning this one. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. Once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks a lot. Nick, how did you guys get this win tonight?
We were really good on defense, and then once we get stops, we're very good on offense. We got some easy ones, and we just kept grinding, We never let it back in the game, and it felt good to get this one tonight.
Great performance by you guys, Nick. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.